Hello. Hi. My name's Erin from Your Girl Erin. Today I decided to start a vlog. Huzzah! Goosey huzzah! Goosey huzzah! She's beautiful. On Instagram and Facebook, thank you everyone, I asked people what I should talk about or write about, and I think I'm gonna do a little bit of both. Today I just wanted to talk because it seemed like more fun than sitting down and looking at a screen and typing for my evening. So I also have a lot of laundry, and so I'm gonna fold it now and talk. Yeah. Okay, so I got a lot of questions. Some were funny, you know, like my mom suggested that I do a whole thing on her, which I'm sure she'll be part of a lot of it. But the one so far that really stuck out to me and seemed like a good, get to know me. Also, I know I say like a lot and I know I say cool a lot, okay? Every single time I'm working at the theater or the high school with people teaching choreography, it gets pointed out to me every single time, and I'm aware of it, but I just simply don't care. You're gonna get the point. So, the thing that stuck out to me was, look at the actual question. Parker, my little baby girl, she's not mine, but I love her so much. How did you get to where you are today, and do you have regrets? I thought that was a really great starting off question. You know, kind of about me. How did I get here, and am I happy about it? One, yeah, I'm very happy about it. This is a great life, and it's awesome. Do I have regrets? Huh. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, I was raised in a household where our biggest rules, look at those bad boys, our biggest rules were be a good person, yes, and 2, have no regrets. Seriously, my dad, to every friend that we had, you know, we got it every night before bed, have no regrets, right? We're gonna do things, we're gonna make mistakes, okay? And we will have regrets. I always took it to mean if you have regrets, don't let them completely ambush and halt your life, right? There are things that I regret big, you know? Cheating on my college boyfriend, big regret, okay? But I don't wake up every day with that weighing on me. That would be ridiculous, right? I mean, if it's huge, you know, if I went out and killed someone, I'm gonna regret it my entire life, okay? This isn't going well, is it? Okay. What the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, so I started dance, and I loved it. I loved the strictness of it. That was super fun. So I started dance. I still did a lot of other things. I did softball, I did volleyball, I did swimming. I was a really good swimmer. Fun fact. One of those regrets on that list is not doing swimming in high school. I really liked swimming. Anyway, I did other things. You know, my parents made sure I was very versatile, But the two things that stayed 100% constant that I never wanted to give up were piano and dance. My parents, if they watch this, are gonna crack up at me saying I never wanted to quit piano. There were some rough moments. So movement and expression and music were always kind of at the forefront of my life since I was really little. Then, you know, I got to high school, I did the dance team, and then at sophomore year, I learned about show choir. Yeah, hell yeah, show choir. Another regret in my life, since that was part of the question, only doing like one performance art. Well, that's a lie. My mom, like, I had to do acting. I did acting classes, which was really cool. Thanks, Mom. I forget about that. Thank you. As a child, I took acting. That's cool. Okay, so regret. Not taking singing lessons when I was young, okay? If you have dancers as kids, or if you are a young dancer watching this, sing, okay? The amount of jobs in the future that will open up to you for singing is endless, okay? So sophomore year I found show choir, and I auditioned, and I got into City Lights at City High School, woot woot, and I was a dancer, you know, that was like what I got. So I got to be in the front row, and I loved the attention of that. I loved the faces and the spectacle and the shiny dresses. But the thing that was lacking was the singing, okay? And like, so I had dance team and show choir in high school. I never was one to like have a friend group, really. I kind of bounced around, I feel like. And if people are watching this and are like, yo, I was friends with you freshman year to senior year, what are you talking about? Like, sorry. I felt like I had no friends. Don't mean to like be a downer. But no, high school was hard. I think a big reason why I got so obsessed with being the female soloist and the lead in musicals and all of this stuff was because I was so desperate to get that positive attention, so desperate to like feel cool. You know, I think I really gravitated to thinking that my destiny was to be this like popular sorority girl. And if you know me now, that, yikes, right? Granted, I wasn't a sorority, fine experience, but, you know, stereotype sorority girl, popular, I wanted to be the most popular girl in school, I wanted to date the hottest guy, like teen movie stuff. And I think that the fact that I got so obsessed with that, I myself diminished the potential happiness that I could have had in high school. You know, like I tried so hard to hang out with people that I just wasn't compatible with, right? It was, I made a post kind of about this stuff a while ago. You can see it on my Instagram or Facebook, if we're friends on Facebook. But two girls, Miriam and Emily, that I went to high school with, commented and said such nice things about me. And that really got me thinking, like, I just chased the wrong people. These two amazing women who at the time were just like these welcoming girls, part of the theater department, part of the show choir scene, that I just, for some reason, didn't flock to. And it's really too bad. I think that if I went back, so yeah, regrets. If I went back and knew I could do it over again, I'd hang out with those people. I'd spend time with people like that. I wouldn't care about being popular. I wouldn't care about who I was dating. I would care about how people made me feel. Yeah, that was cool. Thank you, guys. So yeah, high school wasn't a great experience. Other people's fault for sure. People were not nice, as they, high school's hard. And also because of me, I made it hard on myself. I set expectations that just were not attainable. But then my senior year, I auditioned for the musical, which was Chicago, and it was eye-opening, like freakishly mind-fucking eye-opening. Like, where had this been my entire life? I have no idea how I didn't find it. My mom shoved Gene Kelly movies down my throat growing up. I watched Sound of Music and Mary Poppins falling asleep for my entire childhood. Granted, thanks, Mom. My new cat's named Gene after Eugene Kelly. But I was always so into musicals, but for some reason, being so sucked up into this dance world, I never thought about doing that. How crazy is that? Like, people who know me now, how psycho is it that I didn't do my first musical until I was 17 years old? That blows my mind. It seriously blows my mind. And not because I'm some, musical, genius goddess type thing, but just, because I'm super into them. Super damn obsessed with them. I can't believe that. So I found the musical my senior year of high school. And anyone who is pursuing a career in musical theater knows that that's pretty late, right? If you are going into musical theater and your goal is to be on Broadway, you got to start so young, I already was, screwed out of it by not taking voice lessons young. It was too late. I didn't take voice lessons, and I wasn't in a musical until that late, right? And so, if you want to make it on Broadway, what school you get into and your education is really important. Also, there's a ghost in my new house if you keep wondering why that light keeps going on and off. Probably just changed the light bulb, but whatever. And then I was so miserable all through college. Being an engineering major, I was doing all my, whatever it's called, required credits. What are those called? Comment and tell me what those are called. I can't even remember. This is probably why I should have finished college. But I switched to a theater major. And the Iowa Theater Department is fine. It's totally fine. The playwrights, the writer's workshop, all of those people got it going on. The grad students got it going on. The grad program is fantastic. But if you want to go into musical theater, it's not the greatest place. So I didn't really fit in. Also starting as a sophomore rather than being, a freshman major starting, I didn't really fit in with a group again. My whole life I didn't. So it wasn't a surprise. So I did that. I really did not enjoy the strict academic approach to art and theater. I didn't like reading textbooks and writing 12-page papers on old plays and Ibsen and Chekhov and all that when I wanted to do big spectacle musicals, right? And so, I don't know, I was very, very, very unhappy. After my freshman year, though, I auditioned for the Performing Arts Project, which is a summer-long intensive in North Carolina on the Wake Forest University campus. You work with amazing people. It is musical theater based, but also they bring people in to talk about film and TV, you know, and plays, and it's all great. But I gotta learn from literal people on Broadway. Like, hello, it was incredible. Definitely like the most proud thing I've ever done in my life. Maybe. Up there. And so I did that, and I got to do like what I wanted, right? I got to take dance class every day and like get so good at that, and I got to take voice lessons and ensemble rehearsals, learning and melding together, and song theory, and just everything that I cared about and wanted to learn about, and wasn't sat down in front of books to try to memorize things that I'm never gonna be in. So yeah. So needless to say, college wasn't for me. And so my parents, the most supportive freaking people in the world, Dave and Regina Helm, holla, jeez. I am so lucky. My parents paid for my entire college, right? I have no student debt. They did it. And not only that, they were so incredibly supportive that I didn't want to do it anymore. You know, like it wasn't a like, this is what you do. You go to college, you get a degree. That's how you live in this world. You know, I hate that. I hate that so much. How the hell was I supposed to know? I was 17 when I went to college. How are you supposed to know what you want to do with your life? I made a huge jump, and it was a huge mistake. And they realized that. They realized how unhappy I was, and that it wasn't anything besides the fact that like I wanted to get my life started in a very different way than what was conventional. So I left school. Their only rule was if I leave school, they don't pay for my apartment anymore, and I move home. Fair. I moved home, which was honestly awesome. So I moved home. After a year, you know, I took a break. I started working. My sister graduated school, and then she moved home, and we like literally would share the bed. We were grown women. I was 20 and she was 23. And we would share the bed. Watch Harry Potter or Doctor Who or whatever, and just like crack up and sleep in and hang out. Oh my gosh, that was such a happy time in my life. Something I didn't mention was before I dropped out of school, I found TCR, Theater Cedar Rapids, for those of you who don't know. And it was my first audition ever, not up like for Theater Cedar Rapids, first audition, and third musical audition. I had done 2 City Circle shows before that, Legally Blonde and Spamalot. But it was my first TCR audition, and TCR auditions are a little bit different because a lot of people go. And in this particular case, Les Mis, a lot of people were there. It was so terrifying, and it's a show that you only sing. There's like no dancing. Okay, so I walk in here thinking I'm just going to be auditioning for a community theater show like I had before, and it's like over 100 people were there. Over like 300 people, I think, auditioned for the entire show, and like 100 kids. Insane. So that was terrifying. I auditioned, I sang, hold me close, sweet Marius, will not let you down. What? A Little Fall of Rain. That's what I was going to say. You don't have to comment. I couldn't stand it. So I sang that song. We did a dance audition. It was interesting because it's just not a dance show, so that was fun. It was like, but anyway, I got cast. And it was the most magical experience of my entire life. I was friends with everybody. For the first time in my life, I felt like I was friends with everybody. It was crazy. Finding TCR was the greatest thing in my entire life. Yeah. Changed everything. So, I did that. I realized that doing things like that, working a day job, I didn't care what it was, and getting to do that at night and be happy was so much better than going to class and being miserable for years. So that's what I did. So I lived at home, I worked, and kept doing shows at TCR, and then eventually I decided to start traveling to auditions, right? Things had been going really well up at TCR, and so I thought I'd start auditioning for ensembles in New York, for Disney and Chicago, all this stuff. And so I looked for a job, and I got a very good paying job. And that job was wearing a tiny top and selling energy drinks at gas stations. Yeah, I paid a lot. So, saved up a ton of that money and spent a year traveling to New York for auditions, to Chicago for auditions. I even went down to Orlando for auditions. And it was a brutal year. It wasn't as bad as high school or college because I was pursuing things that I loved, but it was still hard. Coming from Iowa and trying to pursue this stuff is really, really hard because you have to travel everywhere. There's not good paying gigs here. I wish there were, but it's not that. It's everything here is great, and I love it, and more people need to come and see it because your mind is going to be blown. Okay, because we got some broad. Okay, but anyway, it was hard. Traveling was hard. Plane rides by myself were hard. My mom did go to New York with me though for auditions once though. That was really fun. We saw 5 Broadway shows in one trip. I think Jamie and I did that too last time, but it was really cool. And so it was grueling, okay? And obviously, I landed no jobs, okay? Like I said, I was behind. I got into it way too late, I wasn't a great singer. We'd do dance calls at auditions, and I'd go, first round, second round, third round, ba da ba da ba da ba da ba. And then it'd be like singing, first round. Bye. So I did that, and a couple times for Disney things, like being a dancer in the shows on Disney Cruise Lines. I got really close. like between me and somebody else close, right? And so it wasn't, you know, like a failure. It was like there was light at the end of this grueling tunnel. But then after a year, I just had to reevaluate, you know, like, is this worth it? Okay, and 1 year isn't even that long. There are people that I know that are on their fifth to seventh year of auditioning professionally and still not landing things, you know? Getting that yes is really, really hard, and power to the people who can go years and get there. Like, that takes an absurd amount of strength that I will never encompass. But I realized, like, even if I got that yes, even if I got that, you know, 12-month cruise line contract, after that, I have to do it again. Granted, I would have made more connections and I would have had something cooler on my resume, but I would have had to do it again. And I had other things like on my bucket list that I want to do in my life, like be a mom, fall in love, get married, you know, raise my kids close to my sister's kids. And so I just had to think, like, what matters more and what is more realistic and what is going to give me the largest sum of happiness. And that was staying here. Well, that was moving to Cedar Rapids. And really focusing on Theater Cedar Rapids and getting that outlet there, which feels so good. Starting the choreography has been like the greatest thing in my life. The greatest thing in my life. And like TCR gave me Ben. That sounds so cheesy. But we're talking about, am I happy about where I landed? Yeah. Ben was my music director on a bunch of shows that I was in. We knew each other for 5 years before we became friends, and then we became like really good friends. And then we became like really good friends. But yeah, I find full happiness. I feel totally complete, having committed myself to theater here. And I wish it got more credit, and I wish more people came out to see it. Well, Theater Cedar Rapids is like a 560-seat theater, and they sell out a lot, so it actually, thanks community, but it could still be bigger. You know, there's still a lot of people out there that need to go see a show. Hello, Dolly. I'm in it. Haven't been in a show in a while. Come see it. But I love it. And then money became an issue because the arts, not a lot of money there, which isn't a secret, okay? So I do what I love. I get paid. That's cool. I needed to find something else that didn't make me miserable, but also paid well, that I could live off of, that I could pay rent and get food and all this stuff. So I just literally Googled how to make good money when you're in your 20s. And like one of the first things that popped up was nanny. In my brain at that moment, I wasn't like, that's what I've always dreamed of. I want to do that, you know, blah, blah, blah. I interviewed, and like I had always liked kids. I was a dance teacher, you know, whatever. I mean, I had experience babysitting and being around kids, but I did a phone interview with the most amazing families ever. Natalie, Vanessa, Jenna, and David. 2 families, 2 amazing boys. God. I'm like, I want to cry. Holy shit. You guys, this is emotional. Oh my God. Look at my cat back there. Anyway, I did a phone interview with Natalie. Her and Vanessa have Emmons, and Jenna and David have Jonah. Both big brothers now. At the time, Emmons was a baby, and Jonah was like just hitting toddler range. Oh my God, I love those boys so much. And so I got that job. And I didn't think it was going to be something that I wanted to do forever, but I quickly learned that I wanted to do it forever. Being a nanny's hard, you guys, because you have to say bye. And I miss them. Oof. Okay. So, I found nannying. And once I had, nannying in theater, you know, and Ben was an added bonus, everything was great. And from that point on, everything has been great. My job now, perfect. I choreograph at the theater, I do shows at the theater, I choreograph Washington High School's musical, and those kids are so talented and they're so funny. And then my day job, Sammy Mae and Parker Marianne. I love them. I am rewarded every single day. I have a job that I forget that the end time is coming, because I have these 2 beautiful humans sitting on me wanting to read a princess book. I get to be Sammy, she's 2, her human jukebox. She says, sing Ariel, sing Belle. It's literally perfect. Life is amazing. There are struggles, obviously. Money's always going to be a struggle. Confidence is always going to be a struggle. Getting my new cat Jean, to love me is a really big struggle. Being in a committed long-term relationship can be a struggle, you know. And there's frustrations all the time in everything I do. But I'm so happy with how things are. I am so happy that high school sucked. I am so happy that I dropped out of college. I am so happy that I spent a year wasting all my money auditioning everywhere I could and getting told no all the time. And I'm so happy that I now have a group of people that love me and like to be around me and miss me when they don't see me. And I have a job that I love to go to, that I never consider calling in sick for, or, you know, like, I want to go. Everything in my life is something that I want. And that's pretty cool. So, that is how I got here in my life. Those are the few lists of regrets I have. We'll see if this vlog is an added regret to that list. And we'll see if we can edit this, because currently it's 43 minutes long. Oh, also, so you know when I post things, yeah, I mean, you're watching this, so like you know, but follow my Instagram. I watched a video and they were pointing to their Instagram handle right here. So I hope that I can find a tutorial of how to do that. Right here, follow me, at your girl Erin. Yeah, website and blog to come soon. Your girl Erin.